This is your boy, Cool Groove Gaming. We are on season 1 of race 2 of our NASCAR trucks series, the Craftsman Truck Series. As you could see, if anyone bothers watching this video, and you saw the first season, the first episode, and then this one, you'll notice the number change. And I'm recording this the late evening of December 19th on a Friday of 2025, where yesterday morning, around 10-ish, 10:15, 10:30, December 18th, in Statesville Airport, North Carolina, Greg Biffle, NASCAR champion, philanthropist, you know what I'm trying to say, and the founder of, not the founder, but the reason we have Cletus McFarland in the ARC series and going to be Truck series, passed away with his wife, son, and daughter, all teen. Daughter was 14, they said, and the son was like 5 or 7. I heard one report said he was 5, and another one said he was 7. Along with a guy who was friends with Kenny Wallace, another NASCAR truck driver, and then another guy who was supposed to be the pilot, I guess, and his son. So 7 folks in all. Just that Greg Biffle being the most famous because he's the hero of Hurricane Helene and a bunch of other things that man has done post NASCAR. And so I thought it'd be fitting to give him this little tribute. I remember watching him as a kid. I never had a negative thing to say about him. He raced for Roush. He won races. And you never bet against the Biff. You had to stick with the Biff. But yeah, it's a shame. I think it hit me more. It's the fact that I have 3 kids, all within the ages of 1 to 11. 1, 10, and 11 years old. So right there, just being just days before Christmas, days before his 56th birthday. And then to hear the text message that his wife sent her mom just 3 minutes before it wrecked. It was obviously a mechanical issue. They were on their way down to Florida to do some race event with Cletus. So it's just a tragic, just a couple of days ago, he had the famous director Rob Reiner pass away brutally. And then here it says, man. But the show must go on. I just wanted to take this minute to honor Greg Biffle and his family, saying my hopes and prayers are with them. And if this ever gets seen, I just wanted it to be known. We lost a good one today, or yesterday. Wouldn't want this on your worst enemy. And he drove Ford too, for the most part. So I didn't have to change manufacturer. But 50 was his first number in trucks. When he went to Cup, he went to 16, and in the Cups, 16 is not available. So I went with 50. But as we were getting ready to go to our race, I met the goal, as you can see on the screen, and I qualified 18th when the sponsor wanted me to at least do 27th or better. So let's get this race going. And again, we'll be doing 2 races. And yeah, let's get it on. You'll be missed, Greg Biffle. You'll be missed. And I would hopefully I do some better graphics and put a picture in here somewhere on this in honor of him. So, all right, let's go racing, folks. So that was unintentional, but as was fitting, a little moment of silence for the Biffle and the families involved. So here we are, 18th. We got, I want to say 13%. So we got 2 stages of 3-lap shootouts, and then like a 6 or 7-lap final stage. And as long as we stay above the top 20, we are golden. The 2 trucks are 3-2-3, and then 2-3-2-3 in body, suspension, engine, and chassis. So we have a middle of the road pack. I don't expect anything too fancy, but if I'm winning races by the end of this episode, I will bump up the AI slider. So this, like I said, um, I didn't say anything yet. So but hit that like and subscribe. If you were a big fan of the Biff, hit that like button. And if you didn't, you better subscribe. So, but yeah, life is short. You never want to take it for granted. Live it to the fullest. Don't go to bed with anything hanging in the balance. You know, if you haven't talked to a loved one in a while, give them a call and tell them you love them. So, we are moving up the ranks. Ooh, we almost got stage points. We had another lap or two, I could have caught them. But remember, we're doing the 13% for the trucks. Ooh, I'm going to do. I probably, this may bite me, but I'm going to pit, get fresh tires, because the last race at Atlanta, I pitted right after the first stage. No one else did. And literally, I was one position away from hitting the goal because everyone pitted with 2 laps to go in the race. So, and we get to see how much, if I can get on off the apron, how much of a difference do laps play on here like they did in NASCAR Heat 5. If you watched any of my old videos, if I pitted in the uh AI didn't, um we would do this. We would go on the outside and pass 4 wide. um Alright, so we are making some progress. And we have a wreck, which is going to end the stage. Booger. Alright, so no one's pitching. You know what, let's do it again. We're going to pit again. Yes, it's going to give us an advantage, but it's all about that strategy. You know, like that song says, it's all about that bass, no triple. Alright, so let's get her done. And I need to go in the settings. Is that guy wrecked and he's staying in? Unless, because I don't think that was Clay who wrecked, because Clay was last at the end of the first, started right beside me at the last stage. Oh, it started. So, we saw that wreck at the end of my Atlanta. Crafton wrecked, stayed out, and then slowed up the whole back half of the field and nearly wrecked me. Sorry, Corey. Your spotter should have told you someone was on your outside. I'm ripping on the outside of this wall. Hey, there's Frankie. Should have stayed in movies, bud. Sorry. Truth hurts. Ooh. And I gave a little Tony a love tap. So, yeah. So, this should come out the week of Christmas or the weekend before Christmas. It's a Friday night, so this probably will premiere tomorrow. I don't know when. I'll probably have this come out Monday. I don't know because I don't know. I'm just winging it. Um, but yeah, this has been nice to have a decent uh NASCAR game for the first time in years. Um, definitely not a dumpster fire like NASCAR Ignition 21, the brand that shall no longer be named after this moment. But there's a lot of potential for this one. There's a lot of things I could do. And maybe if I get better at editing. So, yeah, pat on back for me. My last two videos had legitimate thumbnails, finally. I'm not really trying to pump them out. I'm actually taking my time editing, adding stuff to it, trying to, um, and learning to. Yes, I am putting a transition between my intro and this video, but actually taking the time to see if it actually works. There's probably a dozen videos that I put transitions on that do not take effect at all, and I don't know why. It's just I have to go through a bunch of different transitions in order to um and then just keep playing it until I see it get done. Alright, so we are going into 5 laps to go, and I'm in the top 10 with a 323 truck. Yes, after this race, I am going to bump 2 notches of the AI slider, if I remember. Um, so, and clean racing, hitting my sponsor goals, and I can maintain this top 10 finish. I should, this should be enough to send me over the brink to the 75,000 reputation needed to be able to open up the Xfinity Series next season. By the time I get to it, and who knows, by some Christmas miracle, people will watch this video. But if you watch this video and I have not started season 1 of Xfinity, if you think I, even if it's off camera, should run trucks to get some extra fundage for the Xfinity series, leave a note in the comments. If not, I will just do it like I am here. We get into Xfinity, trucks will go into the mothballs, and I need tires, and I have a 1% damage. Ooh, I need this. I'm as comfortable I should if I just take it easy. Oh, boom! No one's pitting. I ain't either. We're just going to feather it around. We're just going to feather it around for 2 laps. As long as we don't get below 27, we will be okay. This is not good. I wanted the gap. I needed the gap. Oops, sorry, Caruth. I was rubbing my nose. Get off the apron. Ooh, this tire is so loose. Alright, we should make it. But it does surprise me that no one pitted this whole entire race. Alrighty, that was weird. I'm gonna pause, come back to the next race, and see what I can do. And we are back. We hit the sponsor goal for practice and qualifying. We didn't qualify nearly as good as we did at Vegas, but we did hit 20th, so only 2 spots different. I fibbed. Instead of doing 2 notches, I did went from 96 to 97 on the AI. This is an all level 4 now, and we are just under 300 rep from the 75,000 needed for Xfinity. So this will be for sure that race that we did it. So hopefully after this race we can hire some more mechanics to get more work points, because yeah, we're going to be hurting if we don't. So if you're still watching, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you have a nice story about Biffle or your favorite moment of his career or whatever, just leave a comment. That'd be awesome if you ever see this. Yeah, well, if you're saying this, you do, but if anyone ever sees this. Anyways. And we are top 15. Can we get our first set of stage points? I don't know if that's going to be possible. Oh, I also changed, no, not between these 2 races, but after or before the last episode, I changed the frequency to where these guys are going to be closer, the competition's going to be tighter, I hope, instead of being staggering. So hopefully that will work for better racing. I'd left it's still 100% on accidents, though it would stink that if it didn't get stage points this time. I'm not going to pit this time like I did last race. See if we can't get some stage points for this stage. Should be our first stage point. Wouldn't that just be awesome? And I may do 98 or 99 for next episode on the AI. Just to see how we're doing. Or just bump it up to a whole difficulty level and then put my presets where I have, see if that will work. Like I said, I do want to have this be fun and entertaining. So here we are, race 4, the startup, and we're already in the top 10. halfway through the race with level 4 equipment. So, yeah, we got to do some tweaking to the settings. Alrighty. Right now we're going to get our first 3. Ooh, sweet, sweet. Come on, come on. Alright, so we got 4 stage points. Rock on. Alright, now we're going to pit. And go from there. So actually, someone actually pitted. So that's good. And we're going to see how this will go. It looks like Lane Riggs is leading the pack. Lane Riggs, the son of Scott Riggs, who drove the number 10 Valvoline car, I think right after Mark Martin or before Mark Martin did the Valvoline and changed it to 6. So that's pretty cool. He's not quite a silver spoon like Ty Gibbs and Chase Elliott. You know, him and Ryan Blaney actually, I feel, kind of earned their way up through the ranks. You know, Ryan Blaney's dad is Dave Blaney, who drove, I think, the 12 car before Ryan Newman did back in the 90s. So, yeah. You know, I think Chase Elliott's popular because his dad was popular, kind of like Dell Jr. They're good. Don't get me wrong, Dell Jr. and Chase are good drivers. But I don't think they had to earn it quite as hard as other drivers whose daddy wasn't as famous and successful. You know, so I think at this point you have your last name Elliott or Earnhardt, well, except for Jeffrey, you know, Earnhardt. People literally just throw money to you, especially if you have a shed of talent like those two guys do have. Alrighty, so we have worked our way back into the top 15. Given some drivers some love taps because they're just so close together and they're always coming down in front of you, it feels like. So we finished 7th last race. Are we going to beat our career high already by race 4? And like clockwork, there is a wreck, and that was Ankrum. And why is my tires already at 46%, 51%? Oh, because I didn't do tires. That's why. All right, let's do 4 tires. All right. Yeah, we're gonna pit. It's probably will bite us, but hey. But let's see what we can do. Fresh tires. All right. 3 laps. As long as we can make the sponsor happy, it shouldn't matter. Oh, and that looks like it's going to be a done deal before even we hit the complete lap. We may even get a top 20 before the second lap. Yep, there we go. We're already in the top 20. Fresh tires will do that to you. But it's all strategy. I don't even think the AI would pit if it was at max. So, hold on a second. Excuse me, sorry. But, alrighty. 14th, 13th. Alright, and another wreck. And I couldn't stop in time. Hopefully there's not the NASCAR heat glitch. If you hit someone after a caution, you didn't take off. But, alright. 2 laps to go. The lucky 13. Can we get 2 consecutive top 10s? At this point, that's all I am asking for. And then we'll upgrade AI. We'll probably try to remember what my settings were and just go from skilled to expert and then put everything where it was for skilled and go from there. So, and we're already top 5. We're going to get our first win because we pitted and the AI didn't. So, fresh tires are king. Maybe I won't pit as often like I do at each stage. So we'll see how that progresses. We'll tweak as we go. Tweak the settings, not the drug. I gotta be clear. Don't do drugs, kids. They'll make you stupid. It may make you AOC or Nancy Pelosi or Adam Schiff or Mitt Romney or a whole bunch of politicians. I don't know. So we get our first win. It does feel a little it feels a little wrong. This win feels a little wrong. But it is what it is. So this has been your boy Cool Groove Gaming. We will see you for episode 3 for 2 more races. I have no idea what the races are, the next couple races are, but we will find out together. And I will definitely have the settings changed to see if it's a little bit more competitive. Yeah. Rest in peace, Biffle family and everyone involved in that plane crash yesterday. And if anyone's going through it, I hope that it gets better for you. And I will see you next time. Peace.